Wednesday night NBA playoff double gamer powered by WagerTalk. Let's break down the Knicks and the Celtics. Let's break down the Nuggets and the Thunder to game twos on Wednesday night in the postseason. I'm Teddy Covers from WagerTalk.com, and I'm going to start with the Knicks and Celtics, but I want to preface it. I have a 5% big ticket play, a rare 5% big ticket play on the side in this game tonight. 31-16 with my last 47 NBA big tickets. That dates back to 2021. I've won my last 4 in the NBA. I'm hitting 83% here in May. And I'm 88-59, 60% in the NBA playoffs over the last 4 years. Just visit my homepage, wt.buzz/TC, to get on board with that 5% big ticket play for the Celtics Knicks side tonight. I'm going to talk about the total here. Before I do that, I do want to say this about the side. The Celtics are the single best team in the NBA against the spread off a loss this season. 18-4, 81%. They're 1-0 here in the postseason off a loss. That came versus Orlando. That being said, I had Boston in that game, and I cashed a winning ticket on the Celtics in that game. They were not the right side. They were lucky to win by 9, covering -7.5. Tonight, of course, they have to cover -10.5. It is also worth noting, second-round favorites 0-5 straight up so far, let alone ATS. Looking at my odds logic live odds screen right now, I'm seeing the Celtics -10.5 at most books, total sitting in the 211 range for tonight. And of course, second-round favorites, if you've been laying the points here in the second round, it hasn't been real good for you. 0-5 straight up, 0-5 ATS. The Celtics certainly one of the home favorites that lost game one. And they missed an NBA playoff record 45 three-pointers in that contest. And they blew a 20-point lead in the process. So the quotes from Jaylen Brown after the game. In these moments when the other team's got momentum, we can't just fire up threes. To break that momentum, you got to get to the free throw line, get to the paint, get to the basket, maybe get an easy 2. And then maybe the next three-pointer feels a little bit better. I feel like we just settled in the second half a lot. It stings. We let our home crowd down. We're looking forward to game 2. In reality, you have to have a short memory. We have to throw it away, get ready for game 2. We don't have time to let stuff carry over. We'll make adjustments and come ready to play. So that's certainly a positive quote from Jaylen Brown in that contest. Of course, Jrue Holiday returned to the starting lineup. He'd missed a couple of games from that strained right hamstring, but Porzingis played only 13 minutes. He didn't return. He had an illness, and he may or may not be he's expected to suit up tonight. He may or may not be 100%. The quotes from Jrue Holiday after the game, KP is big for us. Obviously so versatile, a person who either play in the paint or stretch the floor, protects the rim, protects the paint, blocks shots. We definitely miss him. We always have this next man up mentality. When Porzingis is out or limited, I'll call that good for over. He's the Celtics rim protector. He's their leading shot blocker. And when he's not in the lineup, we've seen the Knicks have the ability to penetrate the paint. And of course, Boston, 15 for 60 on three-pointers. Of the 49 shots that Boston took in the second half and overtime, 37 of them came from beyond the arc, and they connected in only 10 of those contests. Remember, that game was 75-55 midway through the third, and then it was tied 86-all by the fourth. So the Knicks a huge second half run. The Celtics only scored 21 points in the last 17 minutes of that game in fourth quarter and overtime. I expect better decision-making for the Celtics tonight when it comes to shot selection. And that factor alone sets me looking at the over. In this one, of course, the markets, it's postseason, the defense is going to be different. I get it. But I think we'll see a little bit of pace tonight. And I certainly think that we're going to see the Celtics have better shot selection, shoot better from three-point range. And the Knicks, they had success against Boston's defense throughout the second half and into the fourth quarter there. I'm looking over, OVER, 211, the prevailing total as we speak. And again, looking at my odds logic live odds screen, there are some books that are 211.5 and 212 right now. So if you do like this over with me, I bet it's sooner rather than later. Celtics, Knicks over. So I'm going to look for the first game out of this duo. I really appreciate the likes. I really appreciate the follows. Where we have 200,000 of you now following the WagerTalk YouTube channel. And of course, the comments below make all the difference. Agree, disagree. It's fine to disagree with me. I don't get mad. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And those likes, ping, just hit that like button. Makes all the difference. Let's talk about Denver and OKC and looking at my Odds Logic live odds screen. By the way, Odds Logic live odds screen, I talk about it. Get a free trial, 7-day, free all access. Just go to oddslogic.com/Teddy and check out our live lines product. I think it's pretty darn good. So again, 7 days free, nothing more to buy, no bait and switch, no nonsense. Oddslogic.com/Teddy and take advantage. So looking at my Odds Logic live odds screen, I'm seeing the Oklahoma City Thunder. Let's call it minus 10.5. There are 10s out there. Total sitting in the 229/230 range for tonight's contest. And I'll be honest, my gut reaction is OKC off a loss. Don't fade OKC. OKC off a loss. Count me among the Thunder believers. That being said, the more I thought about this game, and this is why I don't bet my initial gut reactions, why you do some work, at least I do, before I make a bet. The more I thought about this game, the more I worked on it, the less I wanted to lay double-digit points with OKC. Make no mistake about it. This Thunder team is not battle-tested in the postseason. They have 2 series wins as a unit. Last year, they swept the flawed, mediocre Pelicans in the first round. And this year, they swept the flawed, mediocre Grizzlies in the first round. That's their 2 playoff series wins, all right, in recent history. All the pressure is on the home team to respond after losing game 1. Obviously, blowing that lead and the big shot from Aaron Gordon to win it. But the pressure's not on Denver here. The pressure's on OKC. And OKC is the best point spread team in the league, 55-23-4 against the spread in the regular season. They were one of the best point spread teams in the league last year in 23-24. So they've been covering point spreads for 2 seasons, building an impressive statistical profile and an impressive and significant betting bandwagon. And they started the playoffs. They won by 51 in game 1, minus 13. They won by 19 in game 2, minus 14 against Memphis. Oh, yeah, the Thunder are going to kill everybody. Well, since that time, 0-3 against the spread. Not really a sniff of a point spread cover. They beat the Grizzlies by 6. They beat them by 2, and they blew a late lead and lost to Denver by 2. Nary a margin. The regular season, all those stats, that I did like 3.5 weeks ago, brah. All those stats, all those results, way in the rearview mirror now. All right. So, yes, OKC, impressive stats, but that's why they're laying 10.5 this evening. Likes, boom, hit that like button. Appreciate it. Comments, appreciate the comments. Subscribe, 200,000 of you at the WagerTalk YouTube channel. Let's talk about the Nuggets. All right. Denver won a title in 2023. They closed out that postseason 5-0 straight up, 5-0 against the spread on the road. They clinched their series at Phoenix. They clinched their series against the Lakers. They knocked off in Miami twice. And again, the core of that team's still there. Again, 5-0 straight up, 5-0 ATS on the highway. Last year, even with all the injuries, Denver didn't make far in the postseason. They won game 3 at LA. They fell behind 0-2 to Minnesota and then won game 3 and 4 on the highway against the T-Wolves, have underdogs. This year, 4 playoff road games for Denver. They've only lost 1 of them against the spread, 2 straight up wins, a tight 6-point deficit against the defeat against the Clippers. And again, they trailed by 9 with less than 3 remaining against OKC on Monday and found a way to win it. Aaron Gordon, quote, "We didn't want to miss the moment. We didn't want to miss the opportunity. I'm glad we showed our grit, but we are not satisfied." OKC. Here's a quote from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. "We know it's about how we respond. There's nothing we can do to just what just happened. There's no point to have our head down and be sad about it or sulk about it. All we can do is be better for the next game, and that's what we're focused on. We didn't expect our whole run to be sunshine and rainbows." That's Shai. He knows it's a battle. All right. Head coach Mark Daigneault, quote, "We have to embrace the struggle of the playoffs, embrace the adversity of the playoffs. The playoffs are a mountain to climb. It's not going to be easy for anyone. We kind of coasted through the first round. It was challenging the games. We controlled the series the whole time. No one just walks their way through a series at this point of the season." The point spread here is just too high, given Denver's track record, given the pressure on OKC. So while my first lean was to the home favorite, the more I thought about it, the more I liked the road underdog in this one. Nuggets or pass for this better. Likes, follows, subscribe, oddslogic.com/Teddy. And most importantly, 5% big ticket tonight for the Knicks and the Celtics. 4-0 the last 4 in the NBA, 83% here in May, 88 and 59, 60% in the NBA playoffs over the last 4 years. Get on board right now, wt.buzz/TC. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to watch WagerTalk TV, and best of luck with all your bets on Wednesday night. Cheers.